The basic engineering company has been in business since 2004, so we're about 7 years old. We started out as primarily a services and engineering business, but we did do a lot of programming and automation in the manufacturing world. In about 2005, we had a client that wanted us to do a software program for them to basically manage all of their safety information in one place. They had multiple systems, they had multiple places they were managing their safety data. So we kind of just came up with this one-stop safety shop concept, and they wanted us to do that as a project for them. We started it, and as we were implementing it, we said, look, we'll give you a break on doing this because we think this is a product that the whole manufacturing industry could use. So we did go ahead and give them a break, and we developed this product, and we've been marketing and selling it. We're very careful about how we developed it because we wanted to make sure we came out of the chutes with a working product that worked for people on the plant floor. That's one of the things that we think where we have a lot of strength. The product is really set up to be a structure for creating and storing all of your safety data. You can create, view, edit. It's got quite a few reports available in it. It can track all kinds of audits. Revision modifications are managed automatically in the system. The modules are integrated. When an audit or an incident investigation finds an issue, you can initialize the action module with an action which will be followed up on until it is completed. You can also create integrated JSAs that will reference your MSDSs, reference your policies and procedures, or use your lockout tagout procedures as you create them. At this point, I'm really only going to go into a high-level overview of the products. What I'd kind of like to do is just march through this whole website, this cover page, and then if you guys, if you have something that you want to pop in and you have a question as I'm going through it, go ahead, but I'd kind of like to see if we could hold the questions off until towards the end. One of the things that I think is important to note is the different clients we've had and how they've implemented this tool. The tool is set up where you can just take one module at a time. You don't have to take it all. And the reason we did that is what we ran into is a lot of our clients might already have something they're using for incident investigation with their workman's comp program, or something they're using for lockout tagout if they're using someone else's program. And so what it's set up for is you can take just one, or you can take the whole shooting match. Pacific Ethanol is a client that we had, or that we have, not that we had. They have about 30 to 40 employees depending on the season. It's one site. They purchased all the products and all the modules. They only have one safety employee on site, and he's responsible for both environmental and safety. His name is Dave Lambert, and he was able to implement the entire package, including PSM, because they're a ethanol production plant, so they had to have PSM in place. He was able to do that all by himself in 90 days. So it does take some time and take some upfront effort because you've got to load it. Timber Products, I think, is a client that several of you know. Mike Hill, he's got 12 sites with several thousand employees, and he was able to introduce the product, do the training, and he also basically implemented the product with all modules at once. He hired an intern and is still in the process of implementing, but he's using one person to load all 12 sites, and we're intending to be done within 90 days, and we are easily on track for that. Not everybody implements that way. Some people will go. We have another client that's got over 100 sites, again, multiple locations, multiple, thousands of employees, and they're implementing over several years, and they're doing it one module at a time because doing it over 100 sites is really, it's just time consuming. It takes training and so forth. We also, because we're a smaller company, we also will offer customization, and we'll integrate to computerized maintenance management systems. We've integrated to a number of different HR systems for employee data. So what we really don't like is people having to do data entry more than once. That's something that because it just becomes an opportunity for errors and an opportunity for people to just make mistakes. So we will do customization, and we will integrate to people's specific forms. So with that, I'd like to dive kind of right into this this website. The home button on the upper, well, let me talk a little bit. The logos, you can create those yourself, so you can put your own logos in for each site. Where we have the Basic Safe logo, you can put in, timber products, you can put in Vigilant, you can put in whatever you want. You can see on the upper right that we're in the Basic Engineering PC site. That's the name of the corporation that we're in right now. We're also we're in a specific site for that corporation, so we're in the Basic Test site. So you can have multiple sites, or you can have just a single site, but it's set up to run either way. You can see that I'm in as myself, Kevin Shoemaker. So the system requires everybody to have a log on to get into the system, and then it tracks everything you do as you are in that system. If you go down to the very bottom, you'll see that there's site settings. That's where you can go in and set specific information associated with this site. Because it is a corporate environment that I have set up here where I can see all the sites on this entire test setup, I can do roll-up reporting. I can look at a number of different things for incidents as far as reports that go across all of the various sites that are here. I can also go in and change from one site to another as a corporate user. No, I don't think you need to. Okay. And of course you can log out and log back in as somebody else if somebody else comes along to get on the machine. Across the menu bar at the top, the home button just always brings you back to this page. The modules button is just an easy way for you to go from one module to another without necessarily having to pop all the way back to the home page. It's just we really wanted to minimize the number of clicks people have to make to move and navigate through the system. Ease of use is very important to us, and we've heard that as being one of the principal reasons people have chosen our product at several different locations. Simplot Foods down here, Timber Products, those were both comments that we received from them as far as ease of use. The next item, sanitation is just something we have in here because we have set up other modules for other people. The Activate computer is nothing you really need to worry about at this point. Manage sites, if you go into that, there's specific data associated with the different tools where you have to set up, you may have to set up departments, you may have to set up areas, employees, that kind of information. The edit personal information would just let me go into my own data as Kevin Shoemaker. The lock is where you go in and set permissions. What that really does is each tool has different things that you can go in and set up associated with who can access what and what people can edit, change, modify, because you don't want everybody necessarily having the ability to go in and delete or modify your files that you've centralized. The question mark is just a centralized area that's got online context sensitive help associated with it. So anytime somebody needs help, they can go there and see if there's a little video or a little PowerPoint that will show them how the system works. As you go into the individual modules, the lockout tagout module is set up as just that. You can go ahead and go in. It'll immediately take you into the search screen. From the search screen, you can look at, if you just click all without putting any criteria in, it'll show you every one of the lockout tagout modules that are in there. The beauty of this system is if you already have a client that's got a bunch of lockout tagouts that have been generated, you can just upload them and start tracking them for audit purposes. The system automatically schedules audits for them. It also will track the audit history, print an audit report. It tracks all revision history. If you notice off to the right there where Kelly's moving the mouse right now, off to the right of each of the individual procedures, you've got an edit button, a delete button. You can look at the audit history, and you can also look at the revision history. So the system will allow you to load up a PDF if you already have a bunch of lockout tagouts created, and then allow you to start tracking your audit history in a very simple format. If you need to add one, you just click over on add. You just move over here, you put in your metadata up on top, and then at the very bottom you can see these are all just search criteria and data that's important for referencing a lockout tagout. At the bottom you'll see you can choose to either build it in the database. It forces you into a step-by-step approach, and you're allowed to put in all your various sources. And you can upload photographs of the devices that are going to be locked out. It's very comprehensive. Go back to the main screen and pull up. Okay. just pull up one real quick.
Okay.
I'm just going to have Kelly pull one up. That boiler one's a good one.
Boiler one.
It's about.
I don't see a boiler one. I'll just do it. I don't see a boiler.
So this is just a real simple one. You've probably seen simple lockout tagouts like this before. And it's just where you need to lock out a cord. So those photos can have additional text associated with them, and you get a header. You can also load up your own if you already have one built. Go ahead and move back from that. So now you can just go back to the home page. Oh wait, just a minute. The shutdown sequence up at the top, that's just something that allows you to go, and it's the direct guidelines from the OSHA website as far as what you need to be doing as you author your lockout tagout sequence. So that's just a kind of a help file that's there as well. Let's go back. The next module is the MSDS module. It's again a very simple tool. You immediately will be dumped into the search engine. You can type in a word. If you just remember that it's acid, you can type in the word acid and it'll pull up all of them that are associated with acid. If you just remember it's a letter P, it'll pull up all of them associated with the letter P. You can put in archived, like if you've had files in here and then you've gotten rid of the chemicals in the future, or you get rid of the chemicals but you still might have them in the back of someone's locker, so you want to keep them in there. You can archive them. You can have current. You can have trial if you're testing something. The index reports is just a means for searching and finding your MSDSs. You can put them in by area, by sub area. You can put other search criteria in there that just allows you to go in and create reports out of the tool. Again, the tool for browsing and putting in your MSDS files is just add, and it's the same screen that you would be using for editing if you go in to edit one of them. The buttons, again, are only available to the people that are administrators that have administrative rights and can move through the tools. The browse function, just click on the browse here. That's how simple it is to input your files. It just goes out.
Oh.
It just goes out, and anywhere that you can have a photo or a document stored, you can go out and grab it. A network drive, a CD, a thumb drive, anywhere that you can access it, you can go grab it and put it into this tool, and it will then be centralized in the database. The data is actually stored in the database, so you don't have to worry about whether you have the most current version or anything like that. Let's go back to the policies and procedures.
Okay.
Or, excuse